Hey everyone, Jolene here again with another video from the Utah STEM in Motion team. In addition to our weekly STEM challenges, we are working on posting virtual versions of the curriculum we normally take to classrooms so that anyone who's interested can access them online. Feel free to use these for yourself, your classroom, in your home, whatever works for you. So today we're going to be walking you through the 3D design program Tinkercad, which is totally free and a great introduction to 3D modeling. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Welcome to the 3D design tutorial with Tinkercad. I'm going to show you how to use the program, and we're going to run through a little tutorial about how to build a house so that you'll be prepared to use the program for whatever you want to make. And then we'll talk a little bit about where to get things printed and how to make sure that your items are going to turn out well. So let's get started. If you don't have an account already, you can click Join Now. Once you go to tinkercad.com, this is the screen that you'll see. If you already have an account, you can just click Sign In and then enter your email or username or sign in with Google, however you originally signed up. Once you get in, this is the screen that you'll see. And you'll click Create New Design, the blue button kind of in the middle there. This is what that's going to look like when it opens up. You'll see your work plane, which is where you're going to build. If you click with the right side of your mouse on that work plane, you can drag it around and move it. So you can see under it, you can see the side of your design, and you can make sure that everything is flat on the workspace. The other way to do that is on the left, there's a little cube that you can click and you can spin that cube around as well. If you zoom out really far or you get stuck under your workspace, you can always hit the little home button that's on the left under that cube and it will take you back to the view that was originally there when you started. The first thing that we're going to do is drag our ruler tool over from the right side of the screen down onto our work plane and let it go. This is really important, and you'll see why in just a moment. So once I have that ruler on there, I'm going to go onto the right side, and I've got this list of different shapes that I can drag out onto my work plane. So I'm going to grab the box and I'm going to drag that one over and drop it on my work plane. When I do that, you can see that there's all these little numbers that pop up that show us exactly what the size of that cube is. And that's because we dragged the ruler over and dropped it on the plane. If we hadn't done that, then those numbers wouldn't be there and we wouldn't be able to enter values. I'm clicking in and changing these values. I'm just doubling them so that we can see it a little bit better. So I'm changing the width and the height and the length of this cube to 40. So since this is going to be a house, I want to put a roof on it. I'm just checking to make sure that my box is sitting flat against the work plane. Then I'm going to come back over to the right side in my menu. And I'm going to grab the roof tool or the roof shape, and I'm going to drag that over and set it right next to my cube. So obviously that roof is not going to fit on there very well, so I need to change those values on the roof so that they match and align with the cube. So I'm going to change that 20 to a 40. I'm going to change my other 20 to a 40. And then the height of the roof doesn't need to be 40. We can make that kind of whatever we want. So I'll make it about 20. That looks good to me. But you can see that the roof is just sitting on the work plane right next to the house. If I try to move it, it only moves along the ground. The other value that we have when we click on our shape is at 0 right now, and that means that that shape is sitting on the ground. So if I change that to 40, because that's the height of our cube, then it puts it up in the air. Now I can drag my roof onto my house. Again, I'm going to need to kind of spin my work plane around to make sure that it's lined up well from all of the different angles. And that looks pretty good to me. So the next thing that I want to do is add a door. The door isn't going to be one that can open. I'm just going to make it look like a little hole, so it'll be a cutout into the house shape. So the way that I'm going to do that is by grabbing this box at the top that has stripes on it, and I'm going to drag that one over to my work plane. Now I'm going to change the values again here to make the door the size that I want it. And this is kind of just up to you, however big you think your door should be. And now I can grab that door and I can slide it over, and you can see where it will cut out of my cube. So I want to add a window to my house as well, and I'm going to make that a cutout also, but I'm going to show you a different way to do that. I'm just going to grab the regular box, the same one that I used for the main part of my house, and I'm going to size that the way that I would with the door. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because it's a window. Perfect. So you can see that it's going to be solid. And I made it about 15 pixels up in the air. That's right at the top of my door. So I want to make it a little higher than that. And it doesn't need to be exact. So I'm just going to grab the little arrow on top of the window and drag it up until it looks good. I can also use my arrow keys to nudge that window around. And now that I kind of have it where I want it, I'm going to go over to the menu that pops up when you click on the shape. And I'm going to click on Hole. So that will turn that shape into a cutout. I can do that with any shape. So if I grab the sphere and I resize that and I put that on my house, I can click Hole, and now I have a circle shape cut out. So the last thing that I'm going to add to my house is a chimney. So I'm going to use that same box again and resize it. I'm going to use that little arrow to drag it up. Kind of stick it on the house. It's a little high, so we'll drag it back down. Once we change the size of that a little bit, that looks better. Perfect. So I'm happy with that. If this is what I want to print, I need to group it all together. So I'm going to click somewhere on my work plane, and I'm going to drag a big rectangle around all of my shapes to select them all at the same time. Once they're selected, I'm going to come up to the gray bar on my menu and click Group, or you can also press Ctrl-G. That way you can see all of the little cutouts that you've made. Your shape is now grouped together. This will be helpful if you want to see if there's any spaces. If there's random air floating in there, then it's not going to print very well. So you want to make sure that it just looks like one solid shape.
Okay. So now that you know the basics of 3D modeling, take some time to design whatever you would like. We recommend thinking about things that you might like to 3D print, and if you ever need ideas or inspirations, we recommend checking out Thingiverse. It's a totally free website where people upload their designs so that people can download, change, print them, whatever they want. If you do have a design that you're looking to make using a 3D printer, there are actually a lot of options available. Doing a quick search for makerspaces in your area or checking out your local library are both likely to give you a lot of different results. Since most of those types of community centers are closed down right now, we also encourage you to explore what you can do with 3D modeling virtually. You can use models for virtual reality programs, video games. You can upload them to Thingiverse and let other people take a look at them. Really, anything that you can think of, you can use a 3D modeling for. So thanks for watching, and if you're interested in more STEM lessons and activities, you can subscribe to our channel, and we'll have our next lesson, Senses in the Brain, up soon.